Hey there, folks. Welcome back to Let's Play Fallout New Vegas. I am Mysterious JG. Did some inventory management. I've got a bunch of shit lying around outside of that pot back at the Dead Horses camp, which I never intend to recover. I got a bunch of stuff in that pot, which I'd have to get on a second trip if I really want it back. And that includes dropping off that armor we found, which I don't know if it's unique to this DLC or not. I don't really remember. And now, though, after, and this took like at least 10 minutes off screen, so I'm glad you didn't have to see it. I finally tracked down this fucker. This guy just disappears. Oh, we did talk to Joshua, and he has nothing new to say. So let's tell Daniel that we're going to fight.
Unless you and Joshua have any objections, I'd like to start evacuating the Sorrows. I'm going to need your help, so say your piece.
I think Joshua's right. We should fight the Whitelegs. If we say this now, I think the DLC ends, and we get an ending. But, I imagine we should actually fight and stop the Whitelegs. Because he's trying to get the Sorrows out, but doesn't that leave the Dead Horses here? Joshua's like the leader of the Dead Horses. He's the leader of the Sorrows. I think he's trying to evacuate the Sorrows. I think we should stand and fight.
No. Why? Why? Haven't you seen enough of what's going on here to see that the Sorrows don't need to butcher the Whitelegs for a piece of land? What Joshua wants is more than an attack. He wants a slaughter. And he needs more than you and the Dead Horses to do it. The Sorrows can't be pushed into this. You and Joshua don't have the right to force them into it. Please, consider what I'm saying.
And you have the right to pull them off their land. This is the way the world is. They're part of it, whether you like it or not. You have the right to pull them off their land.
I've already explained to them that we're leaving. They've accepted it. What is Joshua going to tell them about being a warrior? What are you going to tell them about how to live with themselves after they got lost in the moment, killed someone who didn't deserve to die?
Well, the Whitelegs kind of
not
deserve
matter?
to die, but...
Is that just an acceptable consequence if it means holding on to this valley? Maybe there is no place left in this world for mercy. But even if it tramples me into the dust, I will never accept it. And I will never condone it.
Well,
Joshua must be waiting for you. I'll stay here with the others as I told them I would.
Walking Cloud is returned to the Sorrows camp. You have lost Waking Cloud, quiet as water's perk. He's just not happy, is he? And I think that was leftover inventory messages from me playing with inventory. So I guess I don't get either companion for this. I was thinking Waking Cloud would be the one I would choose because she would want revenge.
I know Daniel doesn't approve, but destroying the Whitelegs is the only way to ensure the Sorrows can remain in Zion.
Gotcha.
You and I will lead a group of Dead Horse warriors and Sorrows hunters into 3 Marys from this position. Our objective is to find the Whitelegs leader, Salt Upon Wounds, and prevent him from fleeing.
Oh, like in Deception, he's going to flee if he takes damage, and we'll lose our optional quest.
Make no mistake about why we are here. This is an extermination.
Do you have to be so weird about it? Let's do it. What are you, Dalek under all that bandage? You know, the mummies worked for Sutek. They didn't work for the Daleks. Let's do it.
God be with you.
The God of Vengeance and Death. Joshua Graham has given you the Ways of the Canaanite perk. While Joshua Graham is in your party, any 45 caliber auto pistol you use has less spread and is twice as likely to score critical hits. Oh, neat. And my dehydration level is increased. So that's an interesting thing to start the DLC with. And I put away most of my water because I was trying to keep my inventory under control. Well, why would I use inventory water anyway? Alright.
The time for talk is past.
Yeah, but you can do inventory management, right?
No thanks.
So they're just fucking with me here. You can't do any of this. No thanks. You can probably change his, well, actually, what can we do with him?
Sorry, that's not going to happen. What's the point? It's the only way I know. Fine. If that's your style, I can adapt.
Joshua's pistol, Whippin' 45.
Naturally.
A light shining in the darkness. Oh, neat.
As you like. I'm at your side.
Okay, so you can change his tactics up a bit, but that's it. All right. So this is an interesting twist on this. They're kind of making it more interesting by fast travel is currently unavailable. Okay. So it's yeah, they're switching things up a bit. We have him as a companion. He's a combat-only companion, and we have a special skill when using that pistol, but I don't really care about that. And it's just us and Joshua against the world. He said something about having hunters, a party of warriors with him that were leading. Maybe they'll show up in a cinematic near the end. There's no fast travel, so the fact that I already scouted ahead to the territory for those guys doesn't matter. And, you know, that makes sense. Final climactic battle where you've already cleared all of the enemies would be a bit silly. Does not look like I'm going the right way, does it? Okay. Let's get down here without killing ourselves. Brock flowers. It's Brock Lesnar and his flowers. Okay, so there's some of our warriors following along with us from the other side of this river. Here's a prickly pear I seem to have already gotten at some point. You still coming, buddy? Alright. So this is kind of neat. We're traveling now with, like, formerly the highest ranking dude in the whole Legion. What are you guys shooting at? Oh. Bonebreaker. Bonebreaker, heartbreaker. Hey, we're pretty close to having another level already. May not have been the best use of a perk to get that, but you know what? It's worked out good. I can't really complain. Getting the perk that boosts experience, like if I'd gotten the perk that boosts experience by 10% really early in the game, it might have been okay. Might have worked out. And it for LP purposes in particular, as opposed to just playing the game on your own for fun, where you might be more inclined to take it real slow. Not that I haven't taken it pretty dang slow, of course. But cripple enemy heads. But yeah, the one that gives you, like, increases your experience boost by a percentage based on your level. That one's been really good to us recently. Yeah, I'm glad I did give myself a little inventory space. But I should have given myself more, is what I'm realizing now. Should have given myself more. Oh, that's... I thought I'd found some neat new type of plant. But that's the white legs territorial markings. It was definitely a good thing to have, after having avoided it for a long time, finally figuring out the mechanic to make new ammo at a reloading bench. I mean, I don't know how useful it would have been to me before, because you can, you know, generally you can just travel someplace and buy more of the ammo you need. But in this case, being stuck in this valley until I finish the DLC Getting my hands on more sniper rifle ammo before attempting this final mission, I think it's going to turn out to be a good thing. I mean, at the very worst, it's going to, you know, we might be able to say, oh, it didn't make a difference. You know, I probably would have won anyway or whatever, but yeah. Being able to take out stuff at a distance with a sniper rifle is most assuredly my preferred style. Some honey mesquite. Joshua Graham, pretty effective, especially compared to the other kind of shitty companions we had in this DLC. I mean, fun enough characters, but not... Kind of surprised he survived. Oh well, just barely. But now he's going to alert others, so that kind of sucked that I didn't finish him. But then again, it doesn't seem to work that way. It should work that way with human enemies. It doesn't work that way with animal enemies. Even with animal enemies, though, you know, like fairly intelligent animals will be able to communicate with each other. Just basic things like, you know, danger, or just, you know, be able to read each other's signals that there's bad stuff going down. There could be guys back here, but there he goes. Shoot him up again. The game does track a lot of little things that kind of like... I don't know what you get for getting higher and higher levels of shoot 'em up again, but... Alright, well, somebody is ahead on the other side of this cliff. Suddenly those guys are, yeah, I am enjoying this, this perk, though. This, you can repair stuff with lots of different kinds of stuff perk. That, like, kind of switches up the rules of what... I don't know if it's realistic or if they were being too picky before about what you could use to repair what. Maybe there's a way they could grade it. Repairing one weapon with the same exact weapon is more effective, but you can get a reduced effectiveness repair from something similar, whatever. But yeah, I really like being able to repair that sniper rifle with other. Like the big thing is if you could get this perk earlier in the game, and I don't think you can get it that early. I think you got to be in the 20s, your level. But if you get it really early and you just get your hand on, oh wow, a new location we hadn't discovered before. But if you can get it really early and then get your hands just on a sniper rifle early in the game, like save up for it and buy it from a vendor, then just cheap hunting rifles would keep a sniper rifle in good shape, and the reload bench could be used to, what are you? Something's moving around over there. Just the reload benches would be enough to enable you to get ammo for. And like, yeah, as I get better at the game, I'm like, man, imagine what I could do with a second playthrough. I will not be doing a second playthrough. Although I dropped money on the DLCs, you'd think it would be, but at this point, yeah. The new Fallout game's coming out fairly soon. I've put a lot of time into this LP over the years, and I've enjoyed it. I really have, but I don't see myself starting a new Vegas game. I kind of knew that when I started the LP. That yes, you are creepy. As much as it pissed off this one guy who like called me a piece of shit human being in his comment on my first video. I mean, that's why I actually looked at a FAQ, a non-spoilers FAQ on the different skills and stuff, just to try to build a decent character. It had some mild spoilers. It mentioned, it talked a little bit about where you go in the game to get permanent stat boosts in the form of those implants, but that was about it. What was I trying to get at? Yeah. I actually researched how to build a decent character or some things that basically just some things. These are things that don't work that well in the game, and didn't really get into much detail. And frankly, it's really hard to make a character that's just completely non-functioning that you can't win the game with. But I knew what I'm trying to get at, and I'm beating around the bush, is that I kind of knew as I started this LP that I was going to have one long run through the game as this character, and that was going to be it. Joshua should be fairly pleased. We've got a ways to go. Oh, we got a long way to go, actually. But he hasn't had to, other than that very first encounter where some guy was crossing the river, and he ended up taking out the dog, I believe. He hasn't really had to get involved. I'll take the dog hide in case that comes up in a recipe later. It doesn't weigh anything. That's why I'm willing to carry it around, despite not knowing that it's going to be useful. You know what? I just had this sudden random urge to check my special stats, because I'm getting to the point now where, yeah, I could take the time to increase my my strength by 1 possibly, but I don't know what I'm going to do with some of those remaining perks. The one that gives you a higher chance at criticals would be worth getting. Your companion, and you know I make fun of my companions. Oh, they're useless or useless. Charisma is the stat that affects the usefulness of your companions. It doesn't do much of anything in Fallout 3, and despite what I just said about using a fact to figure out how to build my character, I didn't like read it cover to cover. I just kind of wanted to check up on some things. I don't think I understood until I was well into the game that my build means that my like having charisma be my dump stat means that my companions aren't going to be useful for anything except being mobile, like inventory expand. Like they're cabinets. But that's okay, because I don't like this feeling that you're relying on them anyway. Although that can be a fun way to roleplay through the game. Give yourself very little in the way of combat skills, and think of it as like, yeah, I'm paying my my companion as like a mercenary that I'm basically hiring to take care of the combat. That has a logic to it. This Whiteleg's Lightbringer is already in trouble. They have that interesting rifle, though, that I want to check out. They apparently they've already been in combat. Oh, they took out one of our guys. That's too bad. Now who's looking for me? I seem to do pretty well with those shots that are kind of low. Per VATS are low chance to hit, but I seem to do okay with them. You know, sneaking ability. Ooh, stalker armor, is that new? Wow. A little bit of sneaking ability. You seem to have a rifle that you don't have now. That sucks. Anyway, sneaking ability and a good sniper rifle and a good small gun skill. Just a deadly combination. Let's do that. Even that you can kind of get away with when you've got the silencer. I think what happened ultimately is that he heard the bullets as opposed to the recoil of the gun itself. I don't think I'm going to get him without crossing the river. I missed, yeah, we killed somebody over there and I didn't get to loot them. Careful crossing here, Joshua. They've been known to sabotage bridges in the past. Maybe some stuff floating around down there that we would want to know about. Oh, I thought I was going to miss them all because I thought I was shooting right into that, Well, you know what? I'm going to stay hidden as long as I can, motherfucker. Maybe you wouldn't have lost that battle at Hoover Dam if you got, well, if you'd been a little sneakier. He doesn't seem to approve of our tactics. Guy's bolting off over there. Got a good chance of hitting him in the torso. I prefer headshots normally, but with the increased damage you get with criticals and your sneak attack criticals you get when you shoot people who haven't spotted you yet, you tend to, yeah, that happens. You tend to kill stuff anyway before it ever gets a chance to attack. Sneak attack criticals in this game, they make a lot of sense with some weapons, melee for example. They don't make sense to me with firearms. If I shoot somebody with a gun and they don't see it coming, what are the odds really that if they had seen it coming and I still hit them the same way, that there's something they could have done to like mitigate the effect? Your mileage may vary, but I can't, it doesn't make sense to me. Nice undies. How's my armor doing? Is there any point in repairing it? I haven't taken a hit. Yeah, there's no point in repairing it. Sniper rifle condition continuing to slowly decrease, just based on the fact that I'm using it so much. Where do we want to go from here? This is taking forever because we don't get to fast travel. Let's set a marker for the Red Rapids dock to try to cut the most direct path we can, since the white legs are kind of wandering at random here. I think we're going to see this big chunk of mountain here doesn't really show up. I don't like the idea of following the river. I'm probably overthinking it, but it seems like if you follow the river, you're going to be exposed. Everybody can see you. I don't know if the enemy placement and enemy AI in Fallout New Vegas is really going to make that come to pass, but it just seems like someplace that, yeah, they're going to have lookouts checking the river. Because although it's not how we're operating, in theory, if a war party was coming up, they could be using boats to move troops. You would have to watch the river. Doesn't really make a difference the way this game works. I'm getting close as I can. The big difference maker is that critical, is the surprise critical. Didn't get it there because he was in caution mode. Almost got a chance to level up, but he's taking additional damage because they're headshots. He still hasn't quite figured out where I am. I'm not without sympathy for this guy. He's in a bad spot here. Well, if I'm not careful, Joshua might get to kill him. Yep. But damn, he's pretty effective. By the standards of this game, very effective. I'm going to take a second and check the time on the video, because I was going to just do this all in one long video, but it's slow moving here. I got just a little bit of time. Probably just level up and then call it a video. Have it, excuse me, be a little short. So let's go back to what we had been doing. We took a little break to up repair to 90 because we wanted that skill, but now we can do melee weapons up to 55, and I don't believe we get a perk. So never mind, I won't call it a video. Well, that would be too... Well, wait, no, it wouldn't. Hold on, it'll be like, what, like less than 5 minutes early, right? Yeah, I go over all the time. This would be fine. Okay, folks, this video is going to be slightly short. It puts me right on the hour to start my next video, which is handy for me. And since we just leveled up, it's a good time to call it a video anyway. So when we come back, depending on how easy they are to find, we'll loot those 3 corpses and continue our march towards the main camp of the Whitelegs. And as you know, battle ends automatically when one side takes the other one's main camp, unless it doesn't, because sometimes it doesn't. But that is usually a victory condition. Most of the time, it's defeat condition. Sun Quan is defeated, or the main camp falls. And in this case, it's going to be Salt upon wounds is defeated, or the main camp falls. Is going to take out those guys. Hopefully, we won't have a bunch of plot points we have to do in order to open up gates. I'm Mysterious JG. I want to thank you guys for watching, and hope you join me next time for more of Dynasty Warriors New Vegas.